to Complexity Made Simple. My name is Paul Allen, and in today's video newsletter, what we're going to be talking about, this is part 2 of a little section about servant leadership. We're going to take a look at an example of servant leadership and the use of it in 5S. It also shows a great example of Senior Management Standard Work as well. So we got a multitude of good things out of this example. So we're going for servant leadership, and 5S. And the great thing about this as well, it shows 5S as a continuous improvement activity, not a cleaning up activity, which is a silly use for 5S. But anyway, so the example I'm going to give you is from the Bosch factory that used to be in Llantrisant. It's one of the best sites I've ever been in. And one of the reasons it's one of the best sites I've ever been in is because you've got brilliant servant leadership. And the example I'm going to give you is linked to their 5S activity. So the system that they had set up was this. Every team in the factory, so every team was engaged in 5S. As part of the 5S activity, there was a monthly continuous improvement phase. So every team is involved in a 5S group, and there is a monthly CI activity and a monthly senior management review. So point 1 about this example, this activity right here. This is Senior Management Standard Work. So this was Senior Management Standard Work. This event was in the diary for the whole senior team. They wouldn't violate it. They wouldn't allow customers to cut across it or anything like that. It was a fixed event, monthly diaried into their senior manager's electronic diary. And once a month, they would come round and review each team on the shop floor. Now, what's and how's? What did they ask the team for? What they asked the team for was improvement. They asked them to identify their biggest issue. So as part of this monthly review, they visit every team. The team presents to the senior management, and they say to the senior management, our biggest problem is the reliability of this welding machine. That's our biggest problem. We currently have 5 hours a month of downtime, unscheduled breakdown type situation. That's what they're doing. The senior management then say, fantastic. How can we help? And then they let the team get on with that improvement activity for the next month. A month later, we come back and we review the situation. What's your biggest problem? Did you fix the problem? Is there anything in the way? How can we help? At no time did they say, that's not the problem we want you to work on. At no time did they say, well, it's a nice idea to work on the welder, but we want you to work on that riveting machine over there. We want you to work on that assembly robot over there. The senior management made no direction whatsoever. The team identified the problem. What's your biggest problem? And then the team worked on the how, and the senior management just provided resources. What do you need from us? Do you need a budget to help you? Do you need skills to help you? Do you need time? What is it you need from us to make that problem go away? And that is one of the most fantastic examples. And they would, every month, they would go around and they would drive their 5S teams into a new continuous improvement round. What's your biggest problem? What do you want to improve? Where do you want to put resources? And how can we help? And their performance was off the charts. Their equipment, I think, lasted twice as long as the budgeted plan. So they were planning to use assembly equipment for about 3 years. I think they ended up using the equipment for 8 years because it was in such great condition and working so brilliantly. They just made buckets and buckets of cash from their 5S, and they made buckets and buckets of cash by being servant leaders and asking the question, how can we help? They specified the what, they let the team decide the how, and they provided the resources to make it happen. That is the most fantastic example of servant leadership, 5S, what's and how's, and continuous improvement. Make more money using 5S.